Those are the morning's top stories. Time for a look at the sport with Amanda, and we're heading to Australia.
We are heading to Australia, and the tennis is really quite exciting. The men's game, particularly at the moment, seems to be really wide open, with any number of probably 5 or 6 players who can win. And the top seed, Roger Federer, well, he's bidding for a 16th Grand Slam over the next couple of weeks, but he's really got off to a stuttering start in his first round match at the Australian Open. The world's And we can have a little look at the papers now. A couple of interesting big interviews this morning. I'm going to start with one in the Independent, with British football playing until he's 40. And since he's been in Milan, he started a cookery course. And yes, he went for 3 hours last week. He said he learned how to make pasta, ragu, carbonara and fresh tomato sauce. Yeah. And wait for it, this week he's learning to make risotto.
Is he?
Yeah.
We should have got him in to do our spag bowl
Spag bowl,
feature.
yeah.
He can cook for me anytime, quite frankly.
Cheese on toast, that'll do,
Yeah.
David. Get back in the kitchen, put your pinny on.
See you later.
Those are our main stories this morning. Coming up a bit later, we're reporting live from the charity headquarters in Cornwall, where they're boxing up aid to send to the victims of Haiti's earthquake.
First though, Amanda's here with all the sport and looking tough for Roger Federer.
It's looking tough for Roger Federer, but we're doing pretty well, the Brits. First time for nearly 20 years, 2 women through to the second round of the Australian Open since 1991. Yeah, Katie O'Brien won, and I've got news of her success in a moment. We are going to start with Roger Federer. He's bidding for his 16th Grand Slam over the next couple of weeks, and he's been up against it in his first round match at the Australian Open. The world Newcastle twice came from behind to draw 2-2 with West Brom and extend their lead at the top of the championship to 3 points. Angola and Algeria have qualified for the quarter-finals of the Africa Cup of Nations. Alistair Cook says he's delighted to have been chosen to captain England for their forthcoming tour of Bangladesh. Dwayne Peel and Mike Phillips have been left out of the Wales squad for next month's Six Nations, leaving coach Warren Gatland without key players at scrum half. And I can tell you, Roger Federer has finished the job off quite nicely. He's just won 3-1, so he's through to the second round of the Australian Open. And before I go, I just want to mention a story dominating quite a few of the back pages about West Ham. They've been the subject, or they've been looking for somebody to take them over since the collapse of all the Iceland banks. And it looks like the Birmingham City trio of David Gold, David Sullivan and Karen Brady is going to have a big transfer kitty to buy lots of players this month. But the Mirror, on the other hand, are saying if that trio take over, then Gianfranco...
Presumably Gianfranco's more of a sun reader than a mirror reader.
Well, you would hope so for his sake this morning, yeah.
Amanda,
Thank you, Amanda.
Take care.
Sport, and morning, Amanda, and results from Down Under.
Results from Down Under, there have been quite a few of them. Not really any shocks, though, unfortunately, yet. But Roger Federer didn't make it easier for himself, but the world #1 has made it through to the second round of the Australian Open. Only after a 4-set battle with Igor Andreev. Pretty much all the sport from me, but I thought I might add a sporting take on the spaghetti bolognese debate. I've been having a look at a few websites, and obviously it's always given as a great pre-match meal. So the Australian Institute of Sport Guidelines for Survival of the Fittest, they suggest that you should add as much veg as you like to your spag bowl.
Yeah.
Not really sure about that one.
Well, carrots, onions, bit of celery.
A bit of celery.
Small, chopped
But
up
you've
small.
got to have more mince
few
than
peas
veg,
sometimes.
you'd think. Really?
Yeah, I know, it's controversial.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
But the New Zealand Institute of Rugby, the All Blacks nutritionist, they suggest whole grain pasta, which I'm not so keen on myself, but minced chicken, because it's a bit lighter than ground beef.
I'm
not sure.
It's just not your bolognese.
It's something different.
Something different.
But it's healthier.
Although chopped turkey, once somebody said, is a good Italian recipe.
Chopped turkey. Spaghetti Auckland, isn't it? Or Christchurch, or whatever.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.
Sport. Here's Amanda.
Hello, we're going to go back to the heat and the sunshine of Australia. Yes, fabulous. He's nicknamed the Fed Express, but Roger Federer chugged, quite frankly, into the second round of the Australian Open this morning, needing 4 sets to get past Igor Andreev. The Russian had never been the subject of a lot of back-page speculation this morning, but West Ham's search for a new owner does now look to be over. BBC Sport understands that the former Birmingham City owners, David Gold and David Sullivan, have taken control, buying 50% of the club between them. A statement's expected from West Ham later on this morning.
Very much,
Same
Amanda.
time,
We'll
same
see you then.
See ya.
23 minutes to 9. Well, there's a lot of it about. So you think you can dance? Strictly